everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Danny Taylor, co-owner of Vegan Proteins Online Coaching, and today we are going to be making a fun little recipe for you.
Hey guys, editing Danny here. So I forgot to mention in the video that I have a webinar coming up on Tuesday, February 7th at 6 p.m. Eastern. We are going to be doing one of my most popular webinars, the 5 Keys to Vegan Fat Loss. So come there, it's limited to 100 spots. You show up. I'm going to talk about 5 things that I think are absolutely critical for fat loss and fat loss as a vegan. Everybody loves this one. I'm looking forward to doing it again. If you want to sign up, I will leave the link down below, and I would love to see you there.
Recently in my What I Eat in a Day video, I showed you guys that at the end of the night, I like to have the Kashi Go Crunch cereal with this vanilla silk soy yogurt. One of my clients recently said to me, Danny, do you know of any vegan Greek yogurts that are macro friendly out there? Because she's transitioning to a vegan diet and she's doing a wonderful job, but one of the things she's had a really hard time replacing is Greek yogurt. Now, I've been vegan for 20 years. I've never had Greek yogurt that's not vegan, but I have seen the packages and I've looked at the macros, and the macros on fat-free dairy Greek yogurt are very good. Now, there's a million and one reasons why I would never eat dairy. However, I think that the vegan dairy yogurt industry does come up a little bit short in terms of coming out with products that are macro friendly compared to some of the options people reach for in the dairy department. So I wanted to make the best vegan Greek yogurt that I possibly could at home. So it's affordable, you can control what goes into it, you can control the flavors that you want, and it's actually very, very simple. Now, the macros are not the same as the non-dairy, fat-free Greek yogurts, but they are better than any of the vegan Greek yogurts that are on the market right now, and I'm excited to show you guys how to make these. We're gonna need just a couple of ingredients here, just 3 ingredients for the first batch, and then going forward, you'll actually only need 2 because you'll have your own starter because you will have made it. So first, I'm going to use the West Soy plain unsweetened soy milk. The ingredients on this are water and organic soybeans, and that is it. So sometimes some of the carrageenans and gums and some of the other soy milks can kind of muck up your yogurt, so I like to use this one for that. And then to give it a protein boost, I'm also using organic silken tofu. So we're gonna make quite a bit of this. I'm gonna use a whole package of this, so a whole quart and a whole package here. So first what I'm going to do is we're going to blend up this silken tofu until it is totally smooth with some of the milk in our bullet. So I'm just gonna put all of this into my bullet. Shake this up. I'm just adding enough of this to help it blend very easily. You don't have to add this all. We're gonna be using it all though. And then you wanna blend this until it is totally creamy. Okay, now for this recipe, we are gonna use an Instant Pot. You can also do this in your oven, set on its lowest setting with the door open, as long as you cover the yogurt up when you put it in there. But the Instant Pot is so easy. You literally press a button and just leave it alone. It's pretty awesome. So that's what I'm going to use. I know a lot of you are also lovers of the Instant Pot, so I'm just dumping this all right in here. You could also, if you had lots of individual jars, you could pour this mixture into the jars and then you wouldn't have to transfer it at the end. I'm dumping the rest of this in there as well. Okay, this part is important. I'm actually gonna use this as the starter. So you have to have live cultures to start a new yogurt. There are lots of ways you can do this. You can use any vegan yogurt that has live cultures in it, or you can literally just buy vegan yogurt cultures online. And I'm just gonna use a half a cup of this. Obviously, if you use an unsweetened one, the macros on the final product would be lower. That's what I would recommend doing. I just don't have that right now. I'm just gonna use a whisk and whisk it together for a second. Next, we're gonna cover our Instant Pot, which I have to do backwards for you guys. Okay, it's covered. There's a yogurt button right here. I'm gonna click that, and it's gonna run for 14 hours on its normal setting, which is basically just to keep it just warm enough that the cultures that are in there can ferment. All right, so we don't have to wait 14 hours to see this particular batch. I made another batch last night, and when it came out of there, it's very liquidy, kind of soupy. When you taste it, it's tangy like a yogurt, which is exactly what we want, but it is quite thin. It will thicken up a little bit just as it cools. So if you just want to make regular yogurt, you can stop right there. But if you want that thick, creamy consistency of Greek yogurt, you're going to put it in a colander with a cheesecloth and pour it on top and let it sit. So I let this sit for about 3 hours here, stirring it occasionally. And I'll show you all the liquid that came out of it. You could let this sit for as long as you want. This is the consistency that we have now from letting it sit for that long. So it's there. This is still plain. You could save some of this and use it as sour cream on your baked potatoes. You could use it in dressings and savory dips just as is, or you could do what I'm going to do, which is flavor it and sweeten it and use it as my beloved vanilla soy yogurt. So now we're going to take our strained Greek yogurt and put it in a separate bowl. There's a lot of different ways you could do this. Just be careful, it can be a little bit messy. So I'm going to use this and I'm going to scoop it out. You really want to scoop all the way to that cheesecloth layer because that's the thickest stuff. The closer it is to the cheesecloth, the thicker it likely is because that's where most of the moisture is strained out of. You might be able to do this with like a nut milk bag too. I just don't have one anymore. So we got as much out of that as we possibly can. Just gonna smooth it around with our spoon because some parts are a little bit thicker and some parts are thinner, so we want that to be nice and uniform. And this is an important step. Pull out about a 1/4 cup of this for later, for when you make your next batch. This is gonna be the starter. So put this in a little Tupperware, put it in your fridge. This is your starter for next time. So instead of using the store-bought stuff next time, you have this. Okay, so this is the step where you can go nuts and flavor this however you want. I'm gonna keep it very, very simple. I am gonna use Better Than Stevia Organic Extract Powder. This is my favorite brand of stevia right here. A little bit goes a long way. And I'm gonna use vanilla extract as well. So I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it. And I would encourage you to do the same. Taste it as you go. You know, maybe you wanna put some fresh fruit in here. You can absolutely do that. Don't add too much liquid or it will get soupy, which is what we just strained it for so long to avoid. So I'm gonna whisk it all together and taste test it along the way. This is just for me, so I can taste test it right out of the bowl. It's sweet enough, but I want it to be more vanilla-y. And if you don't like stevia, you can use regular sugar or jam or fruit or something else to sweeten it. Just know that that's going to change the macros. And a lot of these dairy, fat-free Greek yogurts that are flavored with artificial sweeteners, which stevia is not an artificial sweetener. Stevia is a plant like mint or basil. It's just an herb. It just happens to taste very, very sweet. That's it. That's good. So I used about a teaspoon of vanilla extract, maybe a 1/4 teaspoon of this stevia, and it's nice and tangy, but also vanilla-y and sweet. So now I'm going to put it in a Tupperware container. I don't have cute little yogurt jars to put this in, so I'm putting it in a Tupperware container. And that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I figured I would weigh it out so we could see exactly how much it made. This is a 7-cup container, but I'm gonna weigh it in grams also. Okay, this made almost exactly 800 grams worth. It's important to know that your amount will vary depending on how long you let it strain for. But if you take this recipe and you divide it into 6 servings, you are going to come out with a product that is 6.3 grams of carbs, 6.3 grams of fat, and 11.1 grams of protein per serving. And that's if you took the 1/4 cup of starter out after we made it, which I highly recommend so you can make it again and again. So hopefully you guys like this recipe. So many different things that you can do with it. You could do savory recipes, you could do sweet, you could add cocoa to this and make it sort of a chocolate cheesecake flavored thing. You could add vanilla bean paste to it, which sounds wonderful. You could add all different kinds of fruits. You could top all sorts of things with it. It's cheaper than store-bought yogurt. It's better for you than store-bought yogurt. It has no added sugar to it. It's pretty wonderful and very, very easy to make. Yes, it takes a long time. Most fermented foods do, but if you plan for it and make it part of your meal prep once a week, it's very, very easy. So definitely recommend it. If you try it, let me know. What do you think down in the comments? Anything that you want to see, let us know. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all the things I'm supposed to ask you to do at the end of a video, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.